on the sound on inravio.com. I'm Marissa, one of your hosts this evening. And these guys with me are...
We're your other hosts. I'm Mike Lally.
I'm Charles Cesarion. It's always the three of us.
Yeah.
I know, we're down a few members tonight. You know, this time of year, people are getting sick and having other things come up.
Or business trips. And
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Matt was
away.
Matt's actually not with us tonight because tonight is Matt's dad's birthday.
Happy birthday.
So happy birthday, Mr. Forsyth. And it's funny, I've known Matt for so long. I remember his parents from back in the college days when he and I knew each other. And we saw them at his 40th birthday party, at Matt's 40th birthday
that's
party.
Correct.
That's
And
right.
his parents look exactly the same as they did.
And even Dan, who's one of our showmates when he can make it, he hit on Matt's mom at
Yes,
the party,
Dan.
which was kind
Yeah,
of fun.
but we'll leave that for another time.
Yeah,
It's pretty funny, but that's a testament to how good she looks for
That's
her age.
true.
Yeah,
That's
they
true.
do, but
You know
they
what?
look exactly the same. I remember walking into the restaurant thinking, oh my God, your parents look great. So,
Yeah.
happy birthday, Mr. Forsyth.
Yeah,
Yes.
many more. Well, we were out at St. John's last weekend, Matt and I, so we had a cover for you guys because everybody was sick.
Yeah, we were down for the count.
So
Out for the count last Friday. Forget it. I wasn't going anywhere.
Well, the big news is February 1st.
That's
Happy
right.
February.
Happy February.
Groundhog Day is tomorrow. And also tomorrow, since we broadcast from the New York area, the big game is tomorrow.
The big game.
And we will continue to say the big game to avoid any legal
It's also known
implications.
as, you know what it's known as,
We'll
but
be
it's
politically
big
correct.
game.
It's the big game.
It's the big game.
Yes.
So who are you guys hoping for tomorrow?
I'm going to go with Seattle because they've never won a Super Bowl, and I always like to see, someone who
The new
hasn't.
guys.
The new guys win.
What about you?
I'm going for Denver. I love Peyton Manning. I think I think it's going to be a great game. I think you have the top defense with the Seahawks, and you have the top offense. Manning's thrown the most touchdowns this year, so I think it's going to be a great game. And I'm also rooting for my Super Bowl boxes to come up, my numbers. So
To be
at the end of
rich
the
by
day,
the end of tomorrow?
I'd like the Broncos to win, but I'd like my numbers to come in
Well,
more.
if your numbers do come up, the next time we all get together, you'll buy us dinner. Is that correct?
Well,
next four
they're not going to come
times.
up for that much.
You never know. If they do,
You know what? I'll buy you coffee.
All right, that's good.
fair
How about that?
point.
Fair point.
Well, I'm also hoping for the Broncos. I mean, I'm a Jets fan, so to me, it's not really that big a deal. But I like Peyton Manning. I feel like he's a nice guy you can have like a nice Southern fried dinner with.
Yeah, that's true, but there's
So
a
for
little
that
scandal
reason-
brewing with Eli there.
What's that?
What? Is there?
The memorabilia
Oh.
with the Giants this week. They said that.
yeah.
So what do you think?
Well,
I don't think-
Eli says the Giants lawyers assure him that there's no truth to it, and he stands behind the Giants.
Now, we'll see what happens, right?
Listen, Eli's a likable guy as well.
That's
Come
true.
on,
You
I
gotta
think
kind
it's
of
all.
hug both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest.
But you know what? Watching the playoffs unfold, and again, I'm a Jet fan as well.
Me too.
There was no way I could root like when the Broncos for Tom Brady to come
No.
to MetLife Stadium.
No, that would have been
win.
sacrilegious.
So I really couldn't root for them, and I mean, at this point, it's great. And
And he looks like Ken. I can't.
Who, Tom Brady?
He
I don't
looks
know.
like-
There's something about him. I just don't.
He's got that face
I
that
don't
like
like it.
I'm better
No.
than everybody face.
Yeah.
And I
Listen,
can't.
he's a phenomenal quarterback, and Belichick and Brady, and they've won multiple big
You have to
games
give
in the
credit where
past.
it's due.
And yeah, so you can't take anything away from them, but I don't have to root for them either.
That's true.
No.
That's true.
None of
But we'll see what happens. The weather is cooperating. Everybody was worried 2 weeks ago, that this was going to be
51 degrees.
Yeah,
51
it's gonna be
degrees
great.
tomorrow.
It's going to be great.
2 digits.
2 digits.
You know how exciting that is? It's been 8 degrees, 0 degrees. I mean, I'm
and
so
it was
excited.
freezing at 5 in the morning getting on that train to New York.
There were
every
10.
day.
There were 10 days during the month of January. I'm sorry, 8 days during the month of January where the temperature went below 10 degrees.
That's upsetting in so many ways. I can't even.
Eight days.
So all of you people out there who love winter, you can have it because
Yes,
I'm
take
looking
it back.
forward. Take it back. I'm looking forward to spending my days on the beach out on Long Island this summer.
That's right.
So I gather you're not a member of the Polar Bear Club then.
The polar bear
that-
plunge was today.
No, I hadn't. Oh, was it today or is it
Today.
tomorrow?
In Long Beach, it was today, the
okay.
polar bear plunge. There's a few locations that do it this weekend, but my friend does it in Long Beach, and she's like, do you want to come on the bus and watch me? I'm like, no, I will be shaking watching you. Are you kidding me?
cold.
No
Oh,
chance.
that's crazy,
I know
those
it's for a
two.
great reason, and I respect that, and it's wonderful, but no shot.
When you go outside in
No.
the morning and your nose hairs are cold, I'm not going to the beach.
When you exhale and it freezes in front of you, no.
No, not at all.
Not happening.
But a lot has happened over the last couple weeks. I
That's
mean, we had the
true.
Grammy Awards.
Yes.
We have the big game.
And may I say, in the Grammy Awards, there was a Beatle reunion.
Yes, the only thing I was disappointed about that,
They didn't play a Beatles song?
Yeah, I felt that he should have played a Beatles song.
I could expand on that.
Because they're having this special.
Well, they played Queenie Eye, and Ringo, with Abe Royal Jr.
Right,
played.
right.
But because exactly, on CBS on February 9th, they're doing the 50th anniversary Grammy salute to the Beatles, and they are playing multiple Beatles songs together that day.
Nice.
I think, though, the commercials leading up to the Grammy gave you that false sense that they would have been playing a Beatles song.
But still, they played together. That was exciting enough for me.
And the whole thing with Beyonce,
How it's scandalous.
Yeah, especially my mother watched the Grammy. The first thing she gets on the phone with me the next, did you watch the awards last night? I said, yeah. Wasn't that disgusting in the beginning? I was like, who are you talking about? The one Beyonce. And I said, yeah, I know, Ma. What can I tell you?
Dude, if I was a mom of a 2-year-old,
Call her up
and I
and
looked
tell
like,
her you
all right,
shouldn't be doing that.
if I was a mom of a 2, I personally like to overdress. You all know this. I wear too many clothes.
They already told you to strip down.
I already had to
tonight.
take off a layer tonight. I enjoy
That's as far as it goes.
clothing.
This is PG.
PG
Right.
rated.
I don't
right.
do the whole leather thong thing, but if I had a 2-year-old and I did do the leather thong thing and I looked like she did, rock on, sister.
Yeah.
I've seen more, when I watched that, I wasn't a kid, but Madonna and Britney Spears were making out.
Oh, yeah,
That's
that's
more
it.
scandalous probably
Well, in
than
today's
Beyonce
newspaper,
shaking.
Daily News, they have another thing of Shakira and Rihanna's photo of their new video, the two of them hugging and holding each other.
And doing the,
Yeah, exactly. So,
Well, listen, there was
whatever.
no wardrobe malfunction at the
that's true.
Grammys.
The
so.
other thing that I
Right.
liked the performance was the Highwaymen with
Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson, Blake Shelton, right?
Oh, yeah, Blake Shelton, Merle
Country
Haggard.
guy.
and Chris
Chris
Christopherson.
Christopherson.
I enjoyed that performance.
Yes. So the Grammys, and I was excited that Nirvana with Paul McCartney won a Grammy.
Right. Yes, that's right. Right.
That was awesome
That was
for their
very.
best original new song. So
And how about Justin Bieber and all of his
I don't know.
Justin
things that have been going
he's
on?
trying to make it to the Super Bowl, but his plane yesterday at Teterboro was held because
Held.
the
They
smell,
thought he had
But they
the
drugs.
smell of marijuana was wafting off the plane. But,
But
they
they
couldn't find
released
it.
him.
They did release him.
They should just deport him.
Yeah.
But you know what's
I've
going to
had
happen?
Can you deport him? He's a citizen.
No, he's not.
He's not a citizen?
not.
He's
Oh, I
not.
didn't know that.
He's a Canadian
Hey,
citizen.
if they wanted to deport Lennon and McCartney back in the 70s, why
They
not
could
Bieber?
certainly deport
And
Bieber.
they were more talented,
That's
so
right.
let's be honest.
That's
I
right.
absolutely were.
I
You know
mean-
what? Get him out.
But you know what the problem is now that they're starting to legalize marijuana across the country? That's going to be a gray area. Because
But
you're-
he lives in a different country, so you know
I
what?
know.
Yeah,
but-
the
but-
rule's the same in Canada.
Are they?
I don't know.
Why
I
don't you
don't
go
know.
visit?
Can we Google? All
I've
I
never
know
been
is
to Canada.
You've never been to Canada. It's a beautiful place.
No.
Toronto is pretty fabulous.
Montreal is beautiful.
I haven't been there
You know, I've
ever.
been to Niagara Falls, so I guess depending on what
You were
side
on
of
the
the
US
falls
side
I was
only?
on,
They always say go on the
Yeah.
I don't
Canadian
know.
side.
Yes, I've been
for the
on both.
falls.
you know,
I've
I
been-
probably went wherever my parents told me to go, and I don't know what side I was on. That's
But-
probably where I went.
But Justin Bieber, I mean, the kid, he feels so entitled, you can tell. I mean, his bodyguards closed down the street so he could drag race at 4 in the morning.
And his dad was one of them. Did
I
you see
know.
that?
His
I know,
dad
I
is
know.
like his wingman.
The thing I don't
know.
understand is, Usher you helped Bieber
Discovered
along.
him on YouTube, yeah.
Why isn't Usher like stepping into?
Because Usher's
do
ex,
it.
Usher's nanny, who was watching his kid, his son fell and hurt his neck and almost like drowned.
Oh,
so then there's a
really?
lawsuit with his ex-wife,
Oh,
Tamika
okay.
Foster, and him. So he's got
Okay.
his own baggage.
All right.
Unfortunately.
So, but we have a lot
celebrities.
to talk about.
We do.
We
Yes.
have tidbits on the big game that
Yes.
Mike looked up and researched.
We have music from Denise Romas tonight, which we're very excited about. Woo!
So why don't
She'll
you
be
give us a
on.
little background about our guest?
Well, I actually met Denise I did an event back in the day called Acoustic Cafe at a local Whole Foods. I wanted to have local talented musicians spotlighted and get some compensation for playing, of course, because there's not enough of that in this world. So I found her from that event, actually, and other people who I've worked with throughout the years, the Green Party, and they've had her at events and everything else. So she's great. She does a lot of things throughout Long Island, and she does original things and covers. So you'll get a little more of a background on her when we interview her in just a few.
Yeah, and she'll be performing songs for us tonight, so that'll be great. Also this week we had the Stadium Series in hockey. The Islanders and Rangers
That's
played,
right.
and the
Which was
Islanders and the
fantastic.
Devils and the Rangers played. So that was very interesting.
Snow at Yankee Stadium.
Snow at Yankee Stadium.
That was pretty
Although
cool.
the Islanders lost, I was telling Mike I love their new uniforms.
I
Yes.
did too.
I think
was
they will
confused
be.
at first.
I think they will be their new uniforms when they move to Brooklyn because those are the colors they were talking about.
That's true.
Dodger blue.
Yeah, no,
So,
it is Dodger Blue. Very
is.
cool to see hockey outside.
Outside, yeah.
You know, I mean, watching. I know they did it this time around in LA and here in New York, and now you're going to have other places. I'm sure Chicago will
Chicago,
want
I
to do
think, is
it.
it,
and-
Oh
right.
yeah.
So, but very, very cool. And, you know, when you hear some of the players interviewed afterwards, they were kind of like, well, like the game Sunday, the Ranger Devil game was delayed because of sun glare.
right.
Yeah, it never
Right.
happens inside.
Right,
But I thought that
exactly.
was very interesting. And then the Islander Ranger game obviously was at night, so they didn't have that. But very, very cool to see it. 50,000 people
People.
were there. And they
Right.
normally play in front of 16. I mean, the
16,
Islanders didn't play in front of that
18,
many.
18,000,
So they
yeah.
had 50,000. So very,
See,
very cool.
my issue was just as, I guess, a patron, if I was there, I just could not deal with the cold. I would be
No.
outside. I would be in like a ski
It's
mask,
cold.
and I can't fit gloves on my hands because they're too giant with my nails. So I have like fingerless ones, but they don't help your fingers, and I would have been angry.
But Courtney was there with her husband. Give
She
her
was.
props for that.
Yes.
She was
Yeah,
there.
She was
was
bundled
there.
up on her Facebook.
Her and Pat and our,
Yep.
my friend,
Yep.
our friend Avery and
Yep.
Nicole were there. Yeah. So
That's
hey,
right.
more power to them. I'm glad I watched from inside on a couch with hot
Me
chocolate.
too. And also this month, the Winter Olympics in Sochi.
Starting February 10th.
So
I believe.
that'll be very interesting to watch because there's a lot of.
I'm a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm a little nervous too.
Because of all the
about
security
that.
breaches that have already been.
I think
Yeah.
hopefully nothing does happen, but the United States is ready. They are going to be positioning warships outside Russia just in case if they have to go
Why
in.
would they do it in a safer country? Like,
I don't know.
I
I
mean,
don't know. You know what they were even saying? They were
have
telling
to
the
wonder.
athletes not to wear
Their
their
American
uniforms
garb, yeah.
outside of the competitions
Right.
because they felt that would be a target.
Right.
And you're right. It's very. And we were talking about this when we had our pre-show meal
Meeting,
together,
right.
all of us, and just what a different world we live in now.
Right.
And how things are so 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, it wasn't like that.
It wasn't like, I mean,
Exactly.
there's so much. I mean, just the security in Manhattan this week for the big game. Was,
oh yeah,
I
they
mean,
have Super Bowl Boulevard.
Super Bowl. No,
Big Game Boulevard.
Big Game
But that's what
Boulevard.
it's actually called, though. But,
Right,
I mean,
okay, but it's the big game.
Big Game
But
Boulevard.
the thing is, like,
Toboggans.
security is really tight.
Yeah.
They were showing on the news last night that they're going to have special planes flying over the stadium.
I know.
Yeah.
That are going to be watching and like can pinpoint. There's going to be restricted airspace over MetLife Stadium.
Uh-huh.
So it's good. And Bruno Mars is playing tomorrow night.
Halftime
And
show.
the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
so excited for that.
So
They put on a great live show.
exactly.
When
so,
you think back to the halftime shows and you had it was Justin Timberlake,
With Janet Jackson,
right?
the wardrobe
And then after
malfunction.
that, I think it was Barry Manilow. I mean, it was, I don't know who they had the next year,
I think
but
it was,
it
might
was
have been
Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney.
You
then
had
it was
Springsteen
then
after that.
U2,
I had a lot of
Aerosmith.
men.
You had a lot of
U2, Prince,
safe
acts.
yeah, which is very, very
So
funny.
I guess Bruno's safe.
I guess.
Yes.
Bruno and the Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
We'll find out. We'll find
So
out.
you want to take a quick break?
Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and with some live music from Denise Romas. See you in a few.
InRadio.com.
We're
Welcome
back.
back.
We're back.
Yes,
How
we
about
are. Now, quickly, before we go live with Denise Romas, we just got word that Matt, who's not here with us this evening, is on the phone. So we wanted to have him say a quick hello to everybody.
Hey, buddy, you there?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
We
Yeah,
can
we
hear
can hear
you.
you.
Hey, live and in person. How we doing? Happy Saturday, guys.
Happy birthday
Saturday.
to your dad.
Yes, happy birthday to your
Thank
dad. We
Thank you
miss
very
you
much.
tonight.
We're actually watching. We were just watching the beginning of the show. I was trying to get on
All
earlier.
right.
And I
Family
saw the
party
show-
watching the show. I like it. I like it.
Your dad,
Yeah, we were trying to get on earlier, so there was a little delay, and then we were just watching. So my dad said thank you very much. He appreciates the happy birthday wishes from all you guys.
Oh, no problem.
Happy
It was
birthday,
very
Dad.
nice. And my mother said she was mortified that he mentioned Dan
Dan,
on her.
tell her not to be more.
Don't worry. You
a
know, we
compliment.
won't hit on your
Right,
mom.
tell
We
her
know.
to take it as a compliment because that shows how fabulous she looks. That
That's what I told her.
30-year-old guy was hitting on her.
I think Dan was drunk. No offense to your mom. I think Dan was
No, he
drinking.
just got there then. He wasn't even drunk
He wasn't
yet.
even drunk.
Oh, he
yet.
wasn't drunk?
I think he was
drinking.
trying to hit on all the ladies there.
I didn't get hit on because my head looks like a Q-tip. I understand.
Well,
Well,
stop
okay.
it.
You know what? Dan is off the market now because he's engaged.
He's getting married in
He's engaged
November.
now, so sorry, Mom.
Well,
Make sure I
he
mention
only
that.
did that to
Your
settle
dad's
since
better.
he couldn't have your mom. So
Yeah.
So how was your trip, Matt?
My trip was very good, actually. It was very tiring. I left on Monday, flew out to Kentucky, had meetings over with the Brown Foreman people over in Kentucky, and then next day to dinner and all that. Next day we went to the cooperage, which is where they make all the barrels.
Oh,
which is
wow.
I've
absolutely
seen your
awesome.
Facebook pictures.
You saw the
Nice.
pictures, right?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was
they're
amazing
good.
to watch them build these barrels. Not a single piece of glue or nails goes in any of the barrels.
So how
they
do
take
they do
about
it?
32 different pieces of wood and build these barrels, and they're all different shapes. And each guy builds about 250 barrels a day. It's absolutely
wow.
amazing. Then we went from there to Woodford, and we got to see how Woodford bourbon is made over in Kentucky,
Okay.
That's
which was
awesome.
really cool. And then we took a very long 2.5-hour, 3-hour bus ride over to Tennessee. The next day we got up, we went over to see the Jack Daniels facility,
Oh,
which was
nice.
absolutely awesome.
So any Elvis sightings at Jack Daniels?
No, there was plenty of Elvis statues outside, especially downtown in Nashville.
Oh, really?
Buddy.
We stayed right across from where the Predators play. And then we went down to all the famous bars, where all the famous people got, like Tootsie's and the Stage and all those famous places. And, but no real Elvis.
No
just
Elvis.
Elvis
No,
statues.
okay.
Next
outside.
time.
I remember going down when the Vidells lived in Germantown, Tennessee, and I remember going down to visit Rob, and we went to Elvis's, Graceland, and went to the
I've never
plane,
been.
and we
I've
went to
never
the
been there. I
house.
wanna
and
go there.
Saw the jungle room, and we saw the whole. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a great time. The only problem was it was extremely cold. It was just as cold as New York, or if not colder down
Really?
there.
Wow.
I left. It was actually warmer here in New York than it was in Kentucky, and
Wow.
right now it's like 50 degrees, and that's kind of where they're normally at. About
Right.
40,
That's
Yeah.
depressing.
high 40s to low 50s this time of year, but they were at 7 degrees for most of the trip.
So
Wow.
Day or
when'd
night.
you come home?
I finally flew back on Thursday afternoon.
Oh, okay, good.
And I hope you
So I got
packed your
back
long
Thursday
underwear if it
afternoon.
was that cold.
I wish I had long underwear. Trust me, I was. I wore one of my heavier jackets, but I was really freezing out there.
I was Facebook stalking you and looking at
Yeah,
your
we
pictures.
were looking.
That's why I was putting the pictures up.
I like how when you first got to the hotel, there was like the rubber ducky. And
Yeah,
Oh, the
that was
shower.
cool.
like, even away, my kids follow.
Yeah,
so
I
good.
walk into the bathroom and I'm not paying attention. I'm doing my business, and all of a sudden I look over and I see this duck staring at me, where I guess the shampoo would normally go, the little ledge. And I'm like, it was a pretty big sized duck, and I'm like, what the hell is this?
Well, I bet you would have deja vu. You had Ernie singing to you, "Rubber Ducky."
I was going to say, I know what it is. It was a camera. Somebody was taping you.
That was us,
That's what it was while
It
you're
was
doing
really
your
weird,
business.
but it was a bizarre hotel. It was called 21C over in Kentucky, and it was definitely a different kind of hotel. It was fun, like they had these weird mannequins, like, one of them was standing in a pile of glass with like razor blades or something. It was like some unusual.
Was this like a horror hotel?
Artistic much?
Yeah, very artsy. I would say very artistic. They had like galleries and showcases, and yeah, it was very you know what it is. Where we were in Kentucky was a very kind of I guess industrial kind of town, and they've now switched it over and made it more about the distillery and things like that. So they're trying to be more like Brooklyn, I guess. Where it's very artsy and Art Deco and different types of things
they
like
didn't
that.
quite nail it.
Yeah, I guess they wanted
Mannequins with glass and razor blades. I don't think warm and fuzzy when I see that.
It sounds like an episode of American Horror Story.
Come join our mannequins and piles of glass.
This is how you will look at the end of your stay here.
Oh, don't worry about the razor blades in the bed. Don't worry
about it. The best
about
part
it.
is they had a huge, by my elevator where you got out, they had a huge pink penguin outside the elevator. So if you were drunk enough, you would think you would see pink penguins outside the elevators when you got off going to your room at night.
Did you take pictures of these things?
I didn't take pictures. I should have.
You should have.
You totally should have.
But you know what it was? I was rushing so much around, and it was one of those trips that was just like a constant, get up and go kind of trip.
Right.
I would forget to take pictures, to be honest
That's
with you.
okay.
So this is not a Great Wolf Lodge. This is not a hotel for the kids.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So Matt, who are you picking for the big game?
I've been going back and forth with it, and Charles, we talked about this last Friday. I think I'm still sticking with my pick of the Denver Broncos. I think that there's a lot of hype going on right now, trying to down them and saying, is Peyton injured and things like that. They're vaulting up this big defense for Seattle.
Right.
I got to go still with Denver. I mean, I'm kind of backed off my prediction of last week. I was saying it was more of a blowout last week.
Yeah,
we
were talking about that.
Than what I said last week.
Right.
But the keys to success for Seattle are to keep Peyton Manning off the field. If their defense can do that, their offense can do that and keep run the ball all day with Marshawn Lynch, then they have a very good chance of making it competitive. If they don't and they go 4 and out, then Peyton Manning's going to throw all day, all over him, and just be scoring touchdowns and making it rain.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like that.
You're going to be hearing Omaha a lot tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
What did we say about trying to figure out how many times he was going to say that tomorrow?
And
let's put it this way. If Seattle's offense can't stay on the field, he'll be hearing quite a lot. Omaha will be dedicating a lot of money to his charity.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
True.
So it'll be an interesting thing. Look, last year's game, it turned out to be actually good at the end, even though in the beginning it was pretty bad.
Right.
And San Francisco made a run of it.
Up till the power outage.
That's right.
When the power went out, the momentum changed in the game.
It totally did.
It did, yes. I mean, that was a tale of two things. Baltimore Raven was just running away with the game, and then all of a sudden the powerage went out. And when it came back on, the 49ers, it was like they replaced the team.
It was
like
they
the
switched
power
them
went out.
during the outage.
When it was dark, they switched on the players.
That's right. That's what happened.
We went and got the Pro Bowl team in. And
Come on, let's go.
I'm sorry, for the NFC, and put the Pro Bowl team in for the NFC to go.
There we go.
They all
That's
of a
right.
sudden were unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well,
Listen,
you
you're
never know.
definitely missed here tonight. We're always all better when we're all together.
I know.
And
We missed
we
you
know you're
tonight.
celebrating with your dad, so it's a great thing.
And
Thank you.
once again,
I missed you guys, and I missed you guys last week too. I know it was only just Charles and I last week, and we did the top 20. The top 13 of
13 of
2013.
2013.
I listened. I heard it.
I was asleep.
So we pulled that back out of the
pulled it
bag,
off.
but it was good. Charles and I were able to do 3 hours last week.
Yeah, and your cousins called in.
I heard
And
that
my
too.
cousins did call in. That's right. They
That's pretty
checked
awesome.
in with us while Kimmy was cleaning her room out finally after a year of marriage.
That's right. That's right.
It's about time, right?
Better late than never.
Yes. About time to take your stuff out.
Yeah,
You should have seen the
please get
pictures
your
she
crap
put up on
out of here now.
Instagram. She put up some pictures on Instagram. It was like they, because literally when she got married, they closed off the room, but it looks like she hasn't really gone through her room in a long time. She
Right.
was pulling out toys and stuff from the 80s. I was like, that's tapes. Pee Wee Herman's
Retro.
Playhouse with Pee Wee and Cherry and
Nice.
it was
eBay.
like a vault. It was like a sealed up vault from the 90s.
There you go.
That's awesome. Well, we missed you tonight, but get ready for some awesome live music. If you have requests, let us know.
Very cool. I will enjoy, guys. guys, and I guess I will see you guys on our next show, which will be at St. John's on the 21st.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
beginning of March, we'll be back again with more Saturday on the Sound.
That's
All
right.
We'll
Matt.
see you soon,
Take care.
darling.
We'll talk
Take
to
it
you
easy.
I'll
soon.
see you guys soon.
Thanks for
Keep up
calling
the
in,
good
honey.
work. Enjoy, guys.
You
Bye-bye.
too.
Good night.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
love.
Bye.
Awesome. Well, with that, we're going to get to some live music now. A lot of people in the chat room asking for the live music.
Yeah.
Here's Denise Romas on Saturday on the Sound.
It's a song from Bob Dylan. Not many people know he wrote this, but he did. Ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe. No matter anyhow. And it ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe. If you don't know by now, when the rooster crows at the break of dawn, look out your window and I'll be gone. You're the reason I'm traveling on. Don't think twice, it's alright. Ain't no use in turning on your light, babe. A light I've never known. And it ain't no use in turning on your light, babe. I'm on the dark side of the road. I wish there was something you could do or say. Try to make me change my mind and stay. We never did too much talking anyway. Don't think twice, it's alright. Ain't no use in calling out my name, babe, like you never done before. And it ain't no use in calling out my name, babe, 'cause I can't hear you anymore. Thinking and wondering all the way down the road. I once loved a man, a child I'm told. Well, I gave him my heart, he wanted my soul. Don't think twice, it's alright. Walking down a long, lonesome road, babe, where I'm bound, I can't tell. Goodbye is too good a word, babe, so I'll just say farewell. Now I ain't saying you treated me unkind, could have done better, but I don't mind. You just kinda wasted my precious time. Don't think twice, it's alright. Well, don't think twice, it's alright. Thank you.
I didn't know that was written by Bob Dylan.
It was.
See? Learn something new every time.
That was excellent.
Do it by Peter, Paul, and Mary in the old days.
I was going to say that's who I know it from.
That's who I knew it from.
Right, look at
Great
that.
song, isn't it?
Very good one. Good choice.
And of course, I have to pay homage to Joni Mitchell. I cut my teeth on Joni Mitchell.
I love me some Joni Mitchell.
Please. Nobody quite writes lyrics the way Joni Mitchell does. There's a song of hers called I Think I Understand. It's one of my favorites of hers. its wrath. I've robbed its blackness blind and tasted sunlight as my fear came clear to me. I think I understand. Fear is like a wonderland, stepping stone or sinking sand. Now the way leads to the hills above the steeples chime. Below me sleepy rooftops round the harbor. It's there I'll take my thirsty fill of friendship over wine. Forgetting fear but never disregarding her. I think I understand. Fear is like a wonderland, stepping stone or sinking sand. Sometimes voices in the night call me back again, back along the pathway of a troubled mind. When forest tries to block the light that keeps a traveler safe, I'll challenge them with flashes from a brighter time. I think I understand. Fear is like a wonderland, stepping stone or sinking sand. Fear is like a wonderland, stepping stone or sinking sand.
So we've got people in the chat room saying, wow, that's a really good singer, so calming, very enjoyable.
Thank you very much.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
So if you're out there and you want to talk to Denise, have a question for her, give us a call at 855-446-7284.
Or you can type in the chat room too.
And we can communicate with you that way. But I agree, the whole calming, like just sitting here, I had my eyes closed at one point, just very, very soothing and very.
Not in a bad way.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
And actually, the background that they had on you was a butterfly in the
Yeah, they
background.
had a butterfly
Nice.
flying with like
Yeah.
flowers and fields. So it was
Yeah.
very,
Very
very
nice.
peaceful.
Very
So-
appropriate.
So Denise, I will start and then I'll defer to the men since I've seen you before. I've had the privilege of seeing you before. So tell us, where did you start in your musical career? How did this come about?
Well, we have to go back to when I was 3.
Well, let's do it.
I grew up in a musical family. My mother sang. My father played piano, accordion, and we used to sit around at night singing. My sister, my father, my mother, and me. And that's when I was little. Sing along with Mitch I'm dating myself.
Ah,
Follow the
I remember
bouncing
that.
ball.
I
Yeah.
remember the sing along with Mitch.
Yep, sing along with Mitch. And that's how I really started that. Got my first guitar at age 11, then the next guitar, the good one, at 16. And that's pretty much where it started as far as me singing in front of people.
All right.
It was my high school variety show, 10th
Okay.
grade. And I sang Someday Soon by Judy Collins, or actually Ian and Sylvia. I was shaking like a leaf. Sang, then I wanted to go do it again, and I was hooked. So that's really what I've been doing. And followed music all my life performing, and I'm also a music teacher. So I'm immersed.
There you go.
As a music teacher, how do you, with the students, like a student will come to see, well, I just want to play rock and roll music, say. You know, you'll have.
Well, I'm a chorus teacher, so,
So
the
how do
version
you-
of that is, why can't we sing Katy Perry? Da, da, da.
Right. So how do you, I guess, teach them, say, well, you got to start the basics here.
Well, what I say to them is, my job is to expose you to things you've never heard before.
Right.
And to challenge you to sing things you've never sung before. So that's what
Right.
we do. And I usually throw in a fun song for them, too. But I feel that, that's part of their growth.
And are they receptive to that? or-
Yes, eventually they are. Why do we have to sing in foreign languages? It's good for you.
It is. I did that in chorus
Yeah,
too.
it's important.
Somebody in the chat room just said, do you perform on the island regularly?
Yes, actually tomorrow I'm playing at a farmer's market.
Yes, I
There
saw
you
that
go.
on your website.
Yep, I do a lot of farmers markets. I love the farmers market community. It's a changing audience, and
It's
I
a
just sit
great,
and I
it's a
play.
great audience.
And where is
Wonderful.
that going to be?
Tomorrow I'll be in Huntington Station at the Jack Abrams School. It's from about 10 to 1, somewhere around there.
Nice.
It's on Lowndes Avenue. It's right across from the Huntington Railroad Station.
Okay.
Right off of 110. Yeah.
So if people wanted to find you for future gigs, what's your website they can find you at?
DeniseRomas.com, ROMAS.
Nice and
Yeah,
easy.
yeah.
Yes,
you can
and she
find
has
everything
a nice
on it.
website. I saw it.
thank
Like
you.
I saw it. Before I came here, I said, let me see if you.
Checking out the scene.
Checking
We
out
owe
the
that
scene.
to my sister, who designed it and keeps it
Okay.
up for me.
Good to have someone like that in the
Oh,
family.
she's great.
So is your sister also perform or?
She sings in a chorus. That's how she likes to use her musical
Oh,
gift.
okay.
There you go.
We've had many different types of musical guests on here over the course of the past year that we've been doing this, and your type of music is the first time that we've had we've had the fire department
Right,
guys that were
right.
playing the rock, but I said it's a nice change of pace, and actually my daughter did the chorus last year, and they were singing Rainbow Connection, which I love.
I did that and I played it on piano.
But you're right, the whole music, like when I look back at music that I listen to, like I listen to a lot of music that my parents listened to.
Right.
I listen to Neil Diamond, I listen to Barry Manilow, I listen to all that because that's what they played. And I'll try and play stuff now for my kids, and they're like, like you said, it's not Katy Perry, it's not Justin Bieber, like we're talking.
right,
It's
right.
not, and I said, guys, it's so different. And the 70s, the 80s, all the stuff like that,
Back
the
when
music
there was
then.
music.
Yeah, it was music.
Not auto-tune.
And it's very different. So I would imagine
Yeah.
being a music teacher and having to deal with that on a regular basis. I mean, I know as a parent trying to deal with my 11-year-old, I'm like, this isn't music. This, they're like, put on BLI. I'm like, it's not, that's not, come on, I want to hear this, But it's very challenging.
It is. The kids are receptive, though. Of course, I'm teaching junior high.
Oh,
I have
so you've got an
7th
interesting
and 8th
age.
grade. Yeah. And, but I love them. The energy is amazing in that room.
Now, how many years have you been doing that for?
I've been teaching for 33 years.
Nice.
Oh my God.
That's
Goodness.
great.
Oh, dear.
Now, as far as folk music goes, there's pretty much, we can say, not radio stations don't play it. And why?
This one does.
But why do you think, though, it's still prevalent in our society today, even though it's
Because
not heard?
The
but-
message is timeless.
Right.
The messages are timeless. I mean, you take Pete Seeger, God rest his soul, Turn, Turn, Turn. I mean, you can apply that to anything,
Right.
anytime. The lyrics are timeless. That's why and folk music is music of the people.
Right.
So there
True.
you have it. And it's true, not many stations will play that, but FUV does,
That's true.
This one.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Not a big market.
No, but it's a timeless genre.
Right, it is.
And-
Where, I'm going to say like country music comes and goes in New York. Now they have 94.7, but it's, no matter what, there's always that artist who will play a folk song and say, oh, wow, I've never heard that before.
Well, even with Pete Seeger's passing, all of those songs coming to the forefront again. You know,
Right.
like there was a special on last night. You realize how these songs have become the fabric of,
Oh, yeah.
the fabric of our lives.
It's true, Cotton.
Little Cotton. Really.
But it's true. Turn, turn,
You don't even
turn, Hammer
realize
song.
how you know these songs. They're a part of us.
Right.
They do know
just-
them. And you know, if you look back, the theme to my kids' talent show this year is the oldies. So I said, right, well, are the 80s oldies? I'm asking them, like, what do you
Which
guys? And they're
oldies?
like,
Which
no,
oldies?
they're like the 50s, and they're doing songs like Johnny Be Good, and they're doing things like
Okay.
that. And I said, you know, all different types of music that have been around forever. You know, you
Right.
sit down and you do. They know that, and it comes back around.
But I think it's a good thing because I think when they do hear these songs, I know with my kids, they end up knowing the lyrics and they appreciate them. So
Yep.
it's not all Katy Perry. Like you said, you know, you'll play things that you've grown up with and your kids just listen to that, and then all of a sudden you know, you're in your car and you're playing the song and you look in the back and there they are singing. They know the lyrics better than you
And
do.
they're going,
Right.
bop, bop,
Yeah,
bop, and they're doing it with me
Yeah,
as
that's
I'm
right.
driving.
The
That's-
Sweet 16, Sweet Caroline
Let's
version.
see,
Yes.
exactly.
Now, besides Joni Mitchell, who are some of your influences?
Well, you know, it was the three J's, you know, Joni Mitchell, Judy Collins, Joan Baez in the old days. Oh, yeah. Simon, I grew up in the Simon and Garfunkel, Jackson Brown days, you know.
Jackson
Oh, another prolific songwriter.
Yeah.
hasn't done anything in a long time.
Not in a while.
Overdue.
Do I
Yeah.
have time to tell my Jackson Brown concert story?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Sure.
Gosh, let me tell you this one. Etched in my mind forever. Westbury Music Fair, or it's called something else now.
Whoever sponsors it this week.
It had to have been late 70s. And Jackson Brown's lyrics, you know, are kind of rambling. You know, there's not much form to his songs, which, you know, gives it their appeal. But this particular one was, I think, was Before the Deluge, which goes on and on and on, you know. And he sat at the piano and he started to sing his song. And I had like a front row seat. I remember just sitting there looking at him and that floppy hair. The women understand what I'm talking about. So he's singing Before the Deluge, and somewhere in the middle of his song, he blanks out on lyrics, his own lyrics. You know, he just
Gosh.
he forgot. But there was a fan. You know, most people are kind of singing along to themselves, but this fan was right there and just filled right in. You know, didn't skip a beat, and he was right on it. And it was the kind of thing where you just stop and go, oh my God. And that was, as we applauded, that was sweet enough. But then Jackson Brown calls him up onto the stage, has him
sing.
sit on the piano bench with him. It wasn't even like, that was great, man. No, he had him sit on the piano bench with him,
Really?
started the song all over, and had the guy sing it.
Wow.
That's
I was
awesome.
crying.
Oh my gosh.
It was such a moment, such a moment.
You don't hear that happening in
No.
today's world
No.
ever, you know,
Yeah.
which is
No,
sad.
the
but-
closest you can come to that is Billy Joel. There's a thing on YouTube, you'll see it. It has gone viral, so to speak. Billy Joel was giving some kind of a lecture at a college.
Yes, I saw
And-
that.
and this-
yes,
and a college student
and he
came up
invited
and
someone.
played New York State of Mind,
Mind,
and
yes.
accompanied him. And at first, Billy Joel didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Guy was amazing.
Yeah.
And there's another, you know, example of an artist sharing the stage
Right.
and not being
Yeah.
afraid to.
Which is nice.
Few and
And
far
what a
between.
tribute! What a tribute to the artist that a fan would know every lyric,
Every
and was
single
hanging on
lyric.
to every word. You know, I just it gave me the
Well,
chills.
those artists like that, they're not threatened by these people because they've already accomplished what they needed to accomplish. So
Right.
having a fan know
Sing
all
with
your-
them is great.
And what
It's
a
great.
feeling!
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine the feeling that would be?
Oh yeah.
I would have melted and not be able to get off the stage. I would have been like stuck to my
You'd
seat
be like,
and just.
you can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't be able to. I mean, I would probably get stuck on all of my jewelry trying to get onto the stage, and I wouldn't have even made it to the piano bench. But you know,
But that's
minor
you with
details.
Brett Michaels. We know that, so we'll
Yeah,
leave
you
that.
do
Yes,
like
Brett
Bret
Michaels, who
Michaels.
is my
Yes.
Facebook picture. Minor details.
Yeah.
But that's a great story.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
is.
I love it.
Well, there's some other news in the chat room. I can't. It's
They're saying, let's hear another song.
Hey,
So what
Leia.
we'll do, we'll take a
Take a
quick
quick
break,
break.
come back with more music because you've got a new fan base starting and they want to hear more. So
We'll be back.
We'll
with
be right back.
Saturday on the Sound.
with Denise Romas, stick
stick around.
in radio.com.
We're back, Saturday on the Sound. I'm Charles Cesario with Marissa Pizza,
Hey
Mike,
there.
Mike Lally, and our special guest, Denise Romas.
Yes.
Take it away, Marissa.
We're going to kick it back off with Denise for a little bit of a background on the next two tunes she's going to play for you. There's a request in the chat room calling for more music.
Yes.
I'm sorry for running our
And
mouths a little
Denise
bit.
says she has a story that she needs to tell about one of these songs.
So set up the scene, my dear. The floor is yours.
Two are songs that I wrote, and this one's about a cat, you see. Now, well, I must tell you that I never had a pet in my entire life until my son brought home this kitten about 9 years ago. And he was living, he had the bottom floor of the house. And I said, what are you going to bring a kitten in the house? I don't want to be responsible for it. You take care of it. You take care of the litter box. I don't want it up here because I don't want it hanging from curtains or something. So I said, I don't want anything to do with this cat. Not that, you know, up until then, I just thought cats looked at you and then they walked away.
Everyone
You know,
thinks that.
I never really knew you could
Misconception.
have a relationship with one. So what are you doing with this kitten? So he brings the kitten home, adorable little thing. And he did, he kept it downstairs. But the kitten would keep going up the steps and on the other side of the door meowing for me. You know, meow, meow. Like, oh. You know, so I would go downstairs and I would play with it. It was really adorable. But then, you know, up the steps, meow, meow. I couldn't take it. Now, everybody's at work one day. I'm homesick. And I'm laying on the sofa in the living room, and I'm tiptoeing around the house, hoping the cat doesn't know I'm home. What am I doing?
Little did you know.
What am I
Whisper.
doing?
The cat knows.
What am I doing? So now on one of my trips, you know, down the hallway, the door was right there to the steps, and there's the cat at the top of the steps, and all of a sudden, the paw comes out from under the door. And that was it. That was it. I opened the door. Literally, he walked into my heart that day.
That's how I do it.
And I had no
That's it.
idea that you could have a relationship with a cat like this. P.S. My son moved out eventually and could not take the cat with him where he was going, so I got to keep it. And it was the best 9 years. I just had to say goodbye to him in August. It was
What
really
was the
hard.
name?
My son named him Magnus,
wow.
Magnus, because my son's a hockey fan. And apparently there's a lot of Magnuses in hockey. Means great one. Oh, I'm telling you, I am hooked. I am now a cat lady. You know?
Yep. I've been a cat
Absolutely
lady forever.
Oh my gosh, I never knew the joy you could have. So he inspired this song. It's called it's called "I'm Your Cat" because it's from the cat's point of view. And if you have cats, you might recognize some of the antics. I included in here. Slinking around the corner, got my eyes on you. I'm wondering when you're gonna fill my bowl with food. A little piece of chicken or some tuna will do. I'm your cat. Hey, I'm your cat. We snuggle on the sofa. You think I'm so cute until you find that I have shed all over your suit. I don't understand the fuss. It's just what I do. I'm your cat. Hey, I'm your cat. You know I think you're special. You're so fine. I chair will do. I have 2 scratched up chairs to prove it. And you know what? I'm not doing a thing about it. I'm going to leave them right there. Threads hanging, I don't care. It's a tribute to him. 3 o'clock in the morning, you were fast asleep until you heard a baby crying in the street. You rushed to the window and you found it was me. I'm your cat. Hey, I'm your cat. I like to leave a present on the back stoop. A little bird, a little mouse, maybe 2. It's just my way of saying how much I love you. I'm your cat. Hey, I'm your cat. You know, I think you're special. You're so fine. I am very glad that I can call you mine. Thank you for the little toys, the catnip too. But forget about the scratching post. Your favorite chair will do. Never mind that crashing noise. It's just me. I'm simply fascinated by the Christmas tree. I can't believe you decorated just for me. I'm your cat. I'm your cat.
As a lifelong owner of cats, and I have 3 myself, I relate to that completely. My
Oh,
couches,
yes.
my couches are from the 80s and will not be replaced because they are completely shredded to nothing, and it's so worth it.
It sure is. I
So
wouldn't
worth
trade
it.
for the
They're
world.
my children. My oldest cat, Joe, will be 15 in April, and he sleeps with me every night since he was 7 months old. He's like my son.
Yep.
They're
They
the-
become your family.
They do. They
I
do.
had no idea.
That was brilliant because, like I said, I grew up since before I was born, different cats in my house. So I relate to that completely.
And having to say goodbye to him was probably the hardest thing I've ever
And it
done.
never gets easier. I've had so many cats throughout the years, and they're all special to you. Never gets easier.
So will you get a new one, or are you?
Yeah, I'm not ready yet.
You're not ready
Okay.
yet.
No.
Whenever you
I know
are,
they'll find me. Or
they will. But
will
whenever
find
you
me.
are, I work part-time at Long Island Feline Adoption Center in
Oh,
Smithtown.
perfect.
So
Oh, I will be there then.
There you
Has to
go.
have
we're
white-
cats
go.
only.
Has
Cats
to have
Adoption
white
Center.
paws. That's my new thing.
We have plenty of those.
Just have little white paws.
How cute. That was a great one.
That was a great
Very
song.
nice.
Yes.
Very original. I like it.
Oh, thank you very much. This one, this song has made it around the world, I guess, through the internet, and it's called A Healing Angel. Now, I wasn't even trying to write this one. The cat song I did sit down to write. This one I didn't. I just kind of came through, and that does happen to songwriters. Songs just kind of come through sometimes, and that's what this one. Within a half hour, this one was born. I had no idea where it came from, but it was there. So I polished it up, and I, made a regular song out of it. And I got some colleagues to come and do a recording of it with me. We had a cello, we had piano, because one of our colleagues had suffered a terrible loss, and I thought this would be a perfect song to maybe just give to her as a little gift. And that's really that's all I really wanted to do with the song, was make a little CD for my colleague. And we gave it to her, and she was very appreciative. But then she said to me, I want the whole world to hear this. And she's sending copies of it to Oprah. Not that it ever made it into Oprah, really, but the idea was she wanted the whole world to hear it. So then I got the idea to just mass produce them, so I did. And I started sending them around, and it's made its way around the world. I have somebody in Denmark that loves it, and then this one veterans organization in Texas latched onto the song and used it as a little backdrop to their YouTube promotion video.
That's great.
Nice.
And then they actually flew me to Texas, all expenses paid,
Oh my
hotel room, pick up at the airport, just so I could sing this song at one of their big fundraisers.
That's
awesome.
And they
excellent.
had like
Great.
a house band for me. It was just amazing, all from this song.
Talk about making an impact.
So it's a simple little song called "A Healing Angel." So I'll do that one out. I will send you a healing angel to wipe your tears away. I will send you a healing angel to watch over you each day. I will send you a healing angel whenever you are blue. I will send you a healing angel. That's what I'll do. When you are feeling vulnerable and you don't know where to turn, when life is filled with hardships and you feel like you've been burned, I will send you a healing angel to wipe your tears away. I will send you a healing angel to watch over you each day. I will send you a healing angel whenever you are blue. I will send you a healing angel. That's what I'll do. When you have a heaviness and ache in your heart, when your head hits the pillow and you're crying in the dark, I will send you a healing angel to wipe your tears away. I will send you a healing angel to watch over you each day. I will send you a healing angel whenever you are blue. I will send you a healing angel. That's what I'll do. I will send you a healing angel. That's what I'll do.
Hey. Someone in the chat room just said, love it, I need this song. So where can people buy your music if they
Well, you
want
can
to?
go to my website and you can see how to do that, or you can go on iTunes because it's there.
Okay.
Everything's there. So, and there's a
Excellent.
there are YouTube videos of this too. So
Right.
feel
Great.
free and
That,
enjoy.
That was a great just song, like, sitting there listening to the words about, because everybody in their life goes
that's
through
true.
times
Right.
that
Oh,
you
absolutely.
need
Yep.
a healing angel. So I thought it was great, and you have such a beautiful voice,
Thank you.
behind it singing it. But it was just what a great theme for a song.
That's great.
Yeah. My very good friend lost her father last Sunday, actually. So we've been there all week with services and everything. And she's a music teacher as well, actually. So just hearing that, I'm like, sending that to her tonight when I get
Yeah.
home.
There
That
you
is
go.
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
feel,
music
feel
helps you get
free.
through the tough times. It really does.
It does, and it touches places that other things can't touch.
Now, were you going through a tough time when you wrote that, or just came to you?
Yes, actually I was, and it turned out to be for me. I didn't even realize.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, how do you wind up with your songwriting process? Do you sit down, actively say, okay, I'm allotting this time to write the songs, or do
Well, as I say, it depends. Like with the cat song, I had all these antics that I was watching Magnus do, and that was easy. I sat down and actually tried to write it. I had a little
Right.
verse for this, a little verse for that. But the Angel song just flew in. Flew in. On
Literally.
I just realized the way I said it.
Divine intervention.
Yeah,
That's
I
right.
I didn't try that at all. I
And
wasn't-
I
didn't-
guess sometimes that's how songs
it
come
just,
about.
It appeared. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that happens with a lot of people.
So when you go to sleep, do you have a pad next to your bed with a pen, and like some artists say?
I
you
hear
know,
some songwriters do
some
that.
songwriters
I
do
actually-
that.
I actually have it in the car. 'cause
Oh, okay.
That's a good.
I do have
Okay.
things in the car.
Do you find yourself pulling over often, being like,
Sometimes,
wait?
no, actually, I don't. I don't pull over. I'm like,
Oh,
I
she's not a texter.
Why
No, not
She's a
texting.
scribbler.
I keep my eyes on the road and I'm going like this. That's what I do.
That's the same as texting while
That's
you're
right.
driving. That's
And
the
when
same.
the
I
police
wasn't-
pull
I'm not
her
looking at
over,
the
they
picture,
say-
though.
Songwriting while
Right,
driving.
song-
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
It's probably
Get on-
not as prevalent, but it's the same, I would
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
But I'm not looking at the paper. I'm just going like this.
So you're watching the road. So therefore,
I'm watching
it's
the
not
road. I never
breaking
take
the law.
my eyes off the road.
That's great.
So that's the songwriting process as I see it anyway, and how it happens to
great.
me.
Right. And now, do you have any other songs or albums you're working on currently, or just kind of whatever
No,
comes
not
to you?
at the moment. Nothing's come through yet.
That's great, though. Some people I know will, they can't write a song on a whim. They have to sit down a lot of time, think things through. I can't write a song to save my life. Music is my life, but I, grab from other people, I guess, because I don't have that gift. But it's interesting to see the different processes people go through to write songs.
Well, that's just that you just said the word gift, and it is a gift.
Oh,
that
it
if
is.
you're, to be able to do what you do the way that you do it. And one of the things that I love when we have all of our guests on is that you can see the passion and when they sing, like just watching you sing,
Right.
you can see like, your body language, and you're into it, and it comes across in the music, and that's awesome. It
That's
really
just
is.
natural born
Yep,
talent.
that's
no
just
matter
talent.
what, like they'll say, oh, well, anybody can learn how to play an instrument, but not necessarily.
Not well.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I mean, like me playing guitar, no. I'll break all the
There's
strings.
the mechanics of learning something.
Right, but
But
you
it's
have to
the
have
but
the
it's
rest
the
of it to go
inside.
with it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
That's
Very
why
true.
there are those of us that do karaoke, and there are those of us that really
even
sing.
if we do karaoke, they don't like it.
No.
So.
Yeah, yes.
Do
And then there
karaoke
are
with the
those-
backup singer.
Yes.
Maybe.
Minor details.
There's a little bit. So we want to take a break. We'll come back.
Back,
with some
we'll do our little tidbits.
Yep.
The man tidbits.
And then more
The man
music.
show.
And I know everyone wants to hear Denise, so don't worry, we won't talk too much. More of Denise in just a little bit. Stick around, we'll be back on Saturday on the Sound on inravio.com.
Don't go away.
InRavio.com.
You can be the final answer. By what you say to me tonight, or will you say to me goodbye? For you, I will always be waiting. It takes two to mend what has been breaking. If you still choose to go, I'll be singing. I will remember.
Welcome back to Saturday on the Sound. We are your hosts, Mike Lally, Marissa Pizza, and Charles Cesaro. Broadcasting February 1st, 2014. Can't believe it's already February. It's
Can you
like
believe
Goes
it?
so fast.
unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Now, tomorrow is Groundhog Day, and we talked about that a little bit
Shadows,
earlier.
shadows.
Yes.
And tomorrow is also the big game.
Yes.
So,
Can anybody think what that game is?
Can anybody know where
keep
that
it to
is?
yourselves
New
if
York or
you
New
do
Jersey?
think it. Don't say it.
Just think of it.
Just think it. So, in preparation for the big game, Charlie and I always come up with little tidbits.
Manisms.
And yeah, I guess
Manisms,
this is
that's okay.
our man cave portion of the show.
Exactly.
So-
I'm not here.
No, forget Marissa. She's not here.
You just blend with this party.
Block me out.
So anyway, in order to enjoy the big game, you have to have food, right?
Food is
is a
always
big
a-
part
right,
of the big game.
Yes.
So now what I did a little research online, and I have the top 10 party snacks for the big game. So
Okay.
now, do you guys
Yeah.
want to take a
Excited.
guess at what any of these are?
Okay, pigs in a blanket.
Pigs in a Blanket
Wings.
is on there. Pigs in a Blanket is number 2.
Wings.
Wings is number 1.
Woo!
Nachos and dips.
Nachos and, well, chips, dip, and salsas came in at number 10. Barbecue baked beans, which I love. My wife
Me
doesn't
too.
like when I love them,
They're
but I love
delicious,
them.
but-
I'm in the same boat. with my
Barbecue baked
family.
They are
beans are
delicious.
number 9.
Stay away.
Now, steak tips, which I'm actually having tomorrow night because my wife and I were going to make some
Okay,
steak,
good.
steak and potatoes, nice big dinner to
Man
go
food.
with the chips and the dip and the salsa.
All right, is beer number 1?
Beer's not
wings.
even on here. This
I
is
got
just
number
snacks.
one.
Wings is number 1.
Wings?
Chicken wings is number 1.
All right.
Sandwiches like the cold cut heroes and
Okay,
stuff like
good,
that, which
good.
are also great to eat.
Hey,
Pizza came
pizza,
in.
pizza.
Bagels.
I'm always on everyone's list. You're welcome.
Pizza's great. Barbecue pork with
Barbecue
pulled pork
pork.
came
See,
in
that's
at number
like my
5.
dinner food, but I wouldn't think of that for big game food.
Now number 4 is tailgate, big game all over chili.
Chili.
Everybody loves
That's-
chili.
Chili with beer in it.
And then number 3 was ribs.
Ribs,
So
okay.
ribs came in, and then the mini hot dogs, and then chicken wings. So, not that I'm suggesting you eat all of this because you would probably
like a churdunkin
get
or
ill.
turd-
It would
You
really
take
get
a
too
little
much.
from here.
But you could kind of dabble
You know
and
what?
dip.
There's so many hours to this big game.
If you
It's-
start eating
At
at
2
2 o'clock, you can eat
Well,
some-
you were on
can
the
eat for
same
8 hours.
wavelength. Like, that was just like
Well, you know
insanity.
what? You know what? We'll be doing 10 hours from
10
now or
hours
something
from
like
now,
that. So.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Don't bother me. Big screen TV. That's it.
That's it. I got the
Turn
beer
the
in one hand.
phone
I got
off.
this, and
That's
so don't anybody call me. You know where I'll be. So
That's right.
That's our
That's-
top 10 snacks.
Snacks.
for the big
I
game.
think the snacks on the screen look more delicious than anything
They
else.
do.
Look at
They
that.
do. We like those. now,
I want that on my
now
table
this is the
tomorrow.
portion where I do history, birthdays, music history, some sports stuff.
All right.
Okay, first I'm going to go with a little history. In 2003, this is on a sad note, NASA's space shuttle Columbia exploded on this date while re-entering the Earth's atmosphere. So, of course, all 7 astronauts were lost. So that was a sad day for the space program. In 1968, Lisa Marie Presley, the king's daughter, the only child of Elvis Presley, was born. In music history, in 1985, Glenn Frey of the band The Eagles appeared on an episode of Miami Vice on NBC TV.
Miami Vice.
One of my favorite shows ever.
Don Johnson.
Don Johnson, Philip Michael Thomas.
Yep.
Yep. In 1988, the Cars disbanded.
Oh,
They were a good group too. Not good in concert, but they were very good. You
Just
know?
What I Needed was my jam back in the
Was
day.
it Let's Go, driving down the
See, I
highway?
love Just What I Needed.
Yeah, My Best Friend's Girl.
Great song.
Great song. Too bad Benjamin Orr is no longer with us.
I know.
He passed away at a young age.
You did.
Yes, he did. And for all you hockey fans, we were talking
We were
about
talking about hockey before,
the
the
New York
outdoor-
Islanders, one of the best franchises ever. I'm sorry, Rangers and Devils fan.
That's right.
That's
I'm an
right.
Islander
We're
fan.
on the island.
I got
and the
made
Islanders
fun
are
of growing
on.
up.
In 1992, Dennis Potvin's number 5 becomes the first number retired by the New York Islanders. So those are a little bit tidbits this day on February 1st. So we always have fun with these, with these little tidbits, because sometimes when you go back, you say, "Wow, that happened in this year." So
That's when the Islanders were great because
See?
we had season tickets growing up, and I was like
Yeah.
a Steve Thomas, Pierre Turgeon fan back in the day. I was the little kid yelling and screaming at all the big
I'll
drunk
never
men.
forget
That was
First
me.
Stanley Cup win. I was on CBS TV in the afternoon on a Saturday. I'm watching it. They're playing the Flyers in overtime. Bobby Nystrom comes in.
Done.
Goal.
There's still hope for them to resurface like they used to be. Come on
I
now.
think there's
Matt, you know what? They've been playing. You know, they've been playing better. I mean, they made the playoffs last year. But you know, with a team like the Islanders, you stick with who brought you to the dance. You know,
That's
you
right.
stay
Yes.
with them.
That's it.
That's
Like
your
Met
team.
fans.
Just
You
like-
just
Yeah.
stick with them.
Exactly.
That's it,
See,
you know,
I'm
that's-
strange. I'm an Islander, Jet, Yankee fan.
That's
That's
wrong.
odd.
That's
That's
wrong.
odd.
You gotta
but
be
everything about me is
Islander.
odd, so,
No,
you know.
you got to be Islanders, Mets,
I
Jets.
know.
Jets,
not.
Mets, Islanders,
Right.
Knicks.
Orange and blue.
Right.
Yes.
Nope.
Not
I'm a
the-
diehard Yankee fan always since I
You
was a
can
kid.
die hard with them.
Nice.
Like A-Rod?
Yeah.
I know. I know.
Well, you know, it's very funny. My son, we were talking football. He's 8. Dallas Cowboys. Loves the Dallas Cowboys. Now
America's
I'm a
team.
Jet fan.
Right. Is
he a Romo fan?
What's that?
Is he a Tony Romo fan?
He's just a Dallas Cowboy fan. We actually got him
Tony Romo jersey.
well, we got him a Lally jersey, actually,
Oh,
a Dallas
okay.
Cowboys
Nice,
Lally jersey.
nice.
But very, very funny. It was just like, you know, it's great. I mean, he's got all this stuff now that, you know, it's everything is Cowboys, 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 which is
That's funny though with the kids. Like my daughter's like that now. She'll be like, if I say I like the Mets, she says she likes the Yankees just to
Yeah.
get under my skin.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
I
they
like
do.
the Islanders. She says I like the Rangers.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like
they know.
Dad's
Yeah,
not cool.
That's not
No.
cool.
No.
You know,
Yeah.
you know, the Yankees are this, Yankees are that. Well,
Yep.
you know what? When you bleed, like I said, orange and
Hey.
blue, you never
Pinstripes, I get it.
Yeah, yeah,
Now,
yeah.
what are you guys both doing for the big game tomorrow?
Just staying home, the four of us, and I already went shopping today. Went today, and my daughter said, "Dad, did you do your shopping?" So I got the chips, the
Keep your
dips,
tabs.
the pigs in the blanket, the mini pizzas, and tomorrow I got to
And you
pick
can
up.
take this list with you and
That's
see
right.
what you forgot.
And then tomorrow I got to pick up, as my daughter says, you got to pick up the Super Bowl cake.
That's
Oh.
right.
That's
right.
All the cupcakes.
Yep.
There
yeah.
you go.
That's it.
Same
about
as
you
well.
guys?
I was in Stop and Shop this afternoon, and we picked up a lot of the stuff that we had. You know, we'll be doing the salsa and the chip,
Right.
a lot of the stuff from the list,
That's right.
which will be great. So a lot of fun. You know what? My wife actually watched the whole game last year, which was pretty cool, and my daughter was more into the commercials.
Right.
My little one, who last year was 4, was very, very funny. We're all 5 of us are sitting on the couch, and Shay was awake when they kicked the ball off. Okay, so from the time that the ball is in the air till the guy catches it to return it, she falls backwards and goes to sleep. So literally,
She fell
was
asleep
awake
on
for the
opening day.
kickoff and was out for
Opening
the
of the
count
kick.
when he started to run it back, which was very, very funny to watch. But
Only she was awake in the very beginning.
yes, but yeah, so we'll sit around and watch. They're excited to watch the
Bruno.
guys from Full House
Full
that are going
House
to be in
are
a
gonna be on,
commercial.
yes.
John Stamos does
Yeah.
a sponsor for some yogurt.
Greek yogurt.
So the Full
Right.
House people are going to be back. There was a Super Bowl special on the other day about the commercial, so there's a couple of good ones that are coming up. And yeah, so you know, we'll just
It'll
kind
be
of sit
fun.
around. It's tough to go out when you have little kids on
You
a
know,
Sunday night,
And the thing is, too,
6:30.
even
and
if you don't have little kids, I mean, it's a Sunday night. People are drinking a lot
Right.
more to
Yeah,
our out.
you know.
You have work the next day. My dad and I just sit back and relax and watch the game.
Yep.
Have some drinks in the house, eat some food.
Yeah, you know what? It's
have
great.
the cats on one side, the dogs on the other side. That's how we do it.
And the
in my
thing is,
house.
that's why they've always talked about possibly moving the Super Bowl to President's Day weekend.
You mean the big game?
Yes,
That's right,
the big game.
We both said it. I'm sorry. Sorry,
Yeah.
Chuck.
It-
Sorry.
it's a habit.
It's a
Yeah,
habit. The big game. They keep
Yes.
on saying they want to
I
move
know.
that game
Yes.
to that day. And the thing is, I understand it because then people don't have to worry about getting up for work the
Work.
next day.
But you
Wonder
know what?
how many
though?
people are sick the next day?
Well, I'm sure. I think it's one of the top days where people banging sick to work. Somebody also gave a good point about that the other day. We were talking at the office, and he said, if you have it that Sunday before President's Day, are more people going to go out to parties and watch it on less TVs and get less of a rating?
Right.
And I said, I don't know about that. I don't know if it
didn't
would have
think of
affected
that,
that
but-
much. But you know, I don't know.
I
mean,
don't know,
if it would have
but
affected
the
that much.
interesting thing leading up to the big game, like we said earlier about the weather, and they were saying, well, maybe we'll play it on the Friday just in case if there's a snowstorm. And then I was like, how could they do that?
No, people
Yeah,
are
yeah,
commuting home from work and everything else,
Yeah.
and you're tired from work.
Yep.
That's the last thing you want
Yep.
to see happen.
And it
No
was
way.
funny on the news last night. They were talking about some of these parties that these restaurants are throwing, and I forget where it was in New York City. They were charging like $150,000 for this party.
Oh, yeah.
and
Some
you
of
were
them
getting
raking in the big
like
bucks.
the cheerleaders. They were gonna have cheerleaders there. steaks that were worth $300 a piece, and it's like,
I pay that for shoes.
Yeah, right.
well,
No.
you got to tell us about those new shoes.
Yeah.
Well, I would put my shoe up to the camera, but I will
Well.
fall backwards. So, for avoiding that problem, I wear giant platform shoes. Not good for playing football or in the big game. Not at all good for that.
No.
However, oh my gosh, am I putting my foot up?
Are
No,
you?
I think he's scanned.
Want me to stand? I'll stand.
Look at that. That's nothing. She says they're going to be
Yes,
even
these
bigger.
are my 7-inch shoes that I wear daily. Look at that. Mike Lally wore on our first show.
The
Beautiful.
first show, yeah.
I have spikes
did
in
have
them
them
and
on.
everything.
Gene Simmons
And
has
now
nothing
I'm
on
smacking
her.
my microphone for moving. Apologies. So I wear giant shoes. I have forever. And I found this pair for about the price of that steak. They originally were $700, and I got them for like 200 and change on eBay. And they're like 2 inches higher than these, so they're 8-inch platforms with sparkles and everything else. I may die. I may not be able to walk, but it'll be worth it. I'm sorry, Mom and Dad, if you're watching this. I'm sorry to break the news to you like this, but it happened. I bought them yesterday. So,
And how much is it going to be for shipping these things?
well, actually, they ship from Florida, so the whole thing cost me like the whole thing cost me like $280. They probably have to.
They're
because
walking their way up the
they're
turnpike.
8-inch platforms, and they come up to your knee. And of course, I'm buying them. It says rock star boots, in parentheses, drag queen boots. Now, I have a lot of friends who are drag queens, and I adore them, but I'm not. I'm not. So,
No, you're
but then
not.
again, my mom has. Right, exactly. I don't have hair. My mom has told me on several occasions that I look like a drag queen, so I'm fulfilling her dream.
You
So
know, talk
everyone else can
about,
watch the big game, and I will be wearing my big shoes.
talk about drag queens. Blue Bloods had a great episode about
Last
drag
night.
last night.
I
That
missed
was
it.
I couldn't believe it.
I didn't watch it yet.
It was- oh, okay.
I have it on,
We
it's
won't
on my.
discuss-
We won't say
It's
anything.
on my
Blue Bloods
DVR.
is my favorite show.
Love Blue Bloods.
Blue
Favorite
Blood.
show.
We'll just tell
Tom
you, it was
Selleck
about
kills
drag
it.
queens, and my daughter and my son was my daughter saying, "Is that a girl or is that a guy?"
Both.
And both.
All I'll give away is
show
her
is
name
great.
was Tiffany Lamp,
Yes.
which will be my new stage name if I ever have one.
That show is with Tom Selleck and Wahlberg and all those guys. It's a great show. If you
Great
don't,
show.
you know, and it's not on Saturday when we're on, so you can watch it.
So you're allowed to watch it.
And if it was on Saturday, you just DVR it and watch
Exactly.
us.
Watch us
this.
live. Yeah.
That's it.
Now,
Yeah.
with that, since we're getting the show goes very quickly, we're going to kick it back off in just a moment to Denise to play 2 more tracks to wrap up the end of the night.
Oh, I have a question for her.
Yes, go ahead, darling.
Are you a football fan? Are you a sports fan? Are you watching the big game?
That's right. It's nice to hear so many
See?
people like, nope. I only watch it for the commercials and the halftime show. I love the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I don't blame you.
That's
Blame you
okay.
all.
It was just a fact finding.
She's playing at the farmers market tomorrow.
That's right.
Yeah, she's
Right,
busy.
I
She's
am.
got
But you
plans.
notice when she's playing, though, at
10
the,
to 1,
at
yes.
the perfect time.
Exactly.
Yes.
So she's done for the big
Everybody
game
can
in
go to the
case.
market and get the snacks
right.
and head home and make
That's
it.
right.
Well, I just wanted to do a reminder, we always are here the first Saturday of the month. New time, 8 to 9:30, a little bit earlier for those folks who want to go out afterwards.
And our next show is March 1st.
Yes, March 1st is our next show. So with that, we'll kick it back over. What's the theme
What's the
for
theme?
March? I love this. Well,
That's a good point.
That'll be part of it.
You know, that
this
probably
is.
be Matt will bring in his power.
Matt will
always
dress like a
brings the
leprechaun.
props.
He always brings in costumes, things that. Yeah, he maybe he'll be a green ghost.
Well, we'll have
the
to
ghost of
maybe
St.
make it
Patrick's Day.
I
Maybe
don't
it'll be a
know.
blue leprechaun.
Blue.
That's right. Well, blue is an offshoot of green. You may have to be a pink leprechaun. We'll figure it out.
There's
We got
nothing
time.
wrong with that.
No, I'm all for pink
Matt's
leprechauns.
not going to wear pink.
You never
Oh,
know.
he's not
Matt,
hot
if you're
pink.
watching, you wear pink.
No, he's not going to
Matt,
wear pink. I
don't
know.
worry.
But
Mr.
and
Forsythe, your son's nothing
You're-
wrong with
no.
your son. He's going to wear pink in
pink
March.
is a beautiful color.
Not.
And we have our musical guest. He'll wear pink.
I'll wear pink.
We have our
I
musical
won't.
guest, Friends on a Journey.
And what kind of music do they play?
They actually also are a collection of music teachers who jam together. They're kind of bluesy,
Bluesy?
so that'll be our musical
Yeah,
guest for
actually,
next
they're
month.
friends of mine.
She
know.
knows them.
He knows
Yep,
them.
They're-
I've sung with them before.
There we go.
There's
That's
Laura
right. I knew you
Susan.
guys knew each other. See,
Yeah,
the
oh,
music
yeah.
community, they all support
Yes,
each other.
we all know each other.
Very close.
So
Friends
they'll be
on a Journey
on
are
our
friends
next
of ours.
Show. There you go.
There we go.
That's right. So with that, I'll kick it off to Denise to any background you want to give us, and then
Sure.
the show is yours to close, my dear.
Thank you. The last 2 songs have to do with letting go. And this one is, the first one is called Letting Go, and I wrote this one. Just about facing your fears and realizing that the world's not going to fall apart if you do. I faced a big fear a while back, and I couldn't believe the results. I was still standing. So this is a song called Letting Go. And the one I'll do after this is a song that Lucinda Williams wrote where she can't let go. Yep. When you let go and open up, see the brilliance of the day. You'll hear your voice expressing love in 1,000 different ways. Open up your heart, let your fear slip away. All that's meant to come to you will appear. Ooh, ah. Allow yourself the time to breathe. Allow yourself to be still. Find within a well of peace you can draw from again and again. Open up your heart, let your fear drift away, and all that's meant to come to you will appear. Be amazed at the strength in you when life takes its toll. With fear removed, the road is clear, a path right to your soul. Open up your heart, let your fear fade in the distance. To come to you will appear, and all that's meant to come to you will appear.
Very inspirational.
Yes.
As we
That's the
say,
theme
take
of the
it
night.
home.
Yes.
Take it home.
Inspiration.
So of course Lucinda Williams is such a character. If you're familiar with her music, she tells it like it is.
Kind of girl.
And this is called Can't Let Go. Thank you for having me on this show. It's great. I love it. Thank you everybody behind the scenes back there. And the people that wrote in last night. Told me, baby, one more time, don't make me sit all alone. Well, it's over. I know it, but I can't let go. I'm like a fish out of water, cat up a tree. You don't even want to talk to me. Well, it's over. I know it, but I can't let go. He won't take me back when I come around. Says he's sorry, then he puts me out. I gotta be round my neck and I'm broken down like a train wreck. Well, it's over. I know it, but I can't let go. I got a candle that burns so bright. turn off the light. You went and left me, it just ain't right. Well, it's over, I know it, but I can't let go. Around every corner there's something I see. Brings me right back to how it used to be. It's over, I know it, but I can't let go. He won't take me back when I come around. Says he's sorry that he puts me out. Got a big chain round the neck and I'm broken down like a train wreck. Well, it's over, I know it, but I can't let go. Well, it's over, I know it, but I can't let go. Well, it's over, I know it, but I can't let go. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Denise.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we'll see you all the first Saturday of March, same place, same time, 8 to 9:30 on radio.com. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the big game. Good night, guys.
In radio.com.